Hello, this is Diane Stover, and this is video number 3. Today, in this video, we're going to dive right into Cuyahoga County and the public records that we have found in Cuyahoga County. Certainly, this video doesn't include everything that's going on in Cuyahoga County with comprehensive sex education, but the video is to give you a walkthrough of what is contained in the evidence report that we put together around public records. If you would like to review the material for yourself, just a reminder, you can go to ohiovaluevoters.org and go to the Protect Ohio Children tab, where you'll find the reports. You can download them for yourself and review the evidence. In the appendix of the report, you will find the actual examples of the letters that we sent to the different government agencies and school districts. And I'll not bring those up here on this video, but you can refer to them for yourself, where we asked for, in a reasonable amount of time, to receive information about sex education that was being delivered in this case in Cuyahoga County in the Cleveland Public School system. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the report and share my screen. Okay, you should be able to see there on page 9, we start with the Cuyahoga County records. This is page 9 of the public records report that we put together in 2019. This public records request was sent to the Cuyahoga County Board of Health on August 21st, 2018. And on the screen now on page 9, you can see the response that we got back from an attorney at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. And it says, Ms. Stover, we have been working on your request. I have the following information to provide at this time. I will also need additional clarification. And he goes into, questions that they have. And in a subsequent page here, we answer some questions and ask some questions. You can see here scrolling through, they're talking about the letter that we sent and the supplemental materials that we're asking for, et cetera, et cetera. So this, as you can see at the bottom of page 9, this was a response from the attorney Thomas O'Donnell, the general counsel at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health, that's located in Parma, Ohio. On page 10, an attachment to the information that was sent here in this correspondence, the attorney has created a table, and this table, it has 2 rows. The first row is about the PrEP grants that we talked about in the last video that the State Board of Health admitted and gave quite a bit of information in the CD about how the Ohio Department of Youth Services is using the curriculum Reducing the Risk to all of the juvenile foster care students. And here we find that the attorney at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health is also referencing that, and as actually under service location, detailing that it's not just Cuyahoga, but it's also covering Lake, Geauga, Lorain, and Ashtabula counties in their purview. Under their partners with Ohio Guidestone and the Cuyahoga County Department of Youth Services. In the last column, in the curriculum column, you see here's the Reducing the Risk curriculum that we talked about in video 2 that is dangerous to children, has all 15 of the 15 harmful elements, and life skills is noted as a curriculum. And then they talk about in the last column under materials, the supplement and the video, et cetera, et cetera. The second row about TPP, which is federal funding from the Health and Human Services Office of Adolescent Health, they list the Beach Brook, Case Western Reserve University, LGBT Center, and Pregnant with Possibilities are partners that the Cuyahoga County Board of Health works with. The location of services for these federal grants are for Cleveland Heights, University Heights, Euclid, Warrensville Heights, and Richmond Heights. And in the curriculum column, they list once again Reducing the Risk, FLASH, which is another harmful, dangerous curriculum, and Get Real. Again, in the curriculum videos that we're going to do of our curriculum report, we're going to go into some level of detail about these curriculums and the danger they pose to youth. In the materials of row 2, they also list a website, 2116s.org, 2116 social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. 2116's rack cards, posters, and other supplemental materials are listed there, and then they reference in that last cell of this table, Beach Brook handles, meetings, contracts, scheduling, et cetera, et cetera. So quite a detailed table, gives you quite a bit of information, and kudos to them. They actually did return this information, and it is found in our report from the attorney at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. Continuing on. Now, some questions between us that are answered here. Is the list a start, or is it a full and complete list of all locations? And the attorney states that this is a complete list of all locations in their purview. Number 2, is the list under service locations, are all of PrEP programs only for foster juvenile programs located in the various counties listed? And they said yes, which it validates what the Ohio Department of Health had stated to us that we covered in video 2, that this is for foster and juvenile facilities. Under TPP programs, are the service locations the names of high schools? And it says that these are the names of the school districts. Our TPP program serves the middle and high schools in these districts. And then my response was, I'm surprised that there's no information about the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. You have no information about sex education curriculum for the Cleveland Public Schools for pregnancy prevention or HIV prevention, similar to the other service locations you listed. Why would there be no information for Cleveland? And the response was that we do not provide TPP services in the Cleveland Metropolitan Schools. Correspondence regarding grants. They state, the attorney states, we do have email communications with sub-grantees, community partners, and our HHS project officer regarding implementation, evaluation, and reporting. My question back, regarding your question about supplemental materials, I was referring to curriculum books and the supporting materials to those books, including videos. And the attorney states, in addition to curriculum, we do have supplemental resource material created in-house. It is not a part of our curriculum. I question, will you be scanning and sending us the support letters? And he states, I will gather the support letters, have them scanned, and send those to you by sometime this week. And I have those in the report here that I can share in this video. My question, given your explanation of costs, we would not want to incur a large expense over $100 for these materials, and therefore, yes, we would like to inspect. As we are inspecting, would it be possible for us to make copies of the materials at your site? And the attorney says, copies can be made for you by our staff, but only the first 20 pages of copies are free. After that, we are required to charge 5 cents per page, and payment would have to be made up front. Or you are free to bring your own copier within reason, doesn't interrupt our staff, take up space from our normal business practices, etc. Materials will not be permitted to be taken off-site out of our control. So this is insightful. They would allow for us to come to the Cuyahoga County Board of Health and inspect materials there at our own cost and with our own equipment. The attorney further states, I gather from your request that you are seeking information on this topic regarding Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Generally, Cleveland Metropolitan School District is not within our jurisdiction. Our agency does not provide any services on this topic to CMSD. If you desire to conduct an inspection, please contact me to make such arrangements. If, based on my responses to your additional comments, you desire to request copies of any materials, please advise. So we did not take them up on the inspection, and there was no further back and forth between us after this. It was just for our information that we know that they are willing to allow us to inspect curriculum at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. We moved on to our next body of work and public records that we've been working on, and did not take them up on that. Okay, so moving on page 12, I'm going to show you some of the supplemental material that also came from the attorney. These are the letters between the school districts and the Board of Health. This one comes from Cuyahoga County Board of, this one is from the Cleveland Heights University Heights City School District. And it says, I would like to express our support to enter into a partnership with the community-based agency, Beachbrook. And so remember, they stated in the table that they would be using a third-party vendor, Beachbrook, to deliver the sex education, comprehensive sexual education. And so they list here bulleted points, and they state that this is for the Monticello Middle School and the Roxborough Middle School. And then at the end of the letter, it refers to, we appreciate this opportunity to partner with Beachbrook and look forward to working with the Comprehensive Sexual Health Program in the future. Comprehensive sex education is not abstinence-based curriculum. It's not anything that is legal in Ohio, but they are doing it in these school districts. Cleveland Heights, the next one. It's Richmond Heights, very, very similar, referring to the arrangement with Beachbrook. This would be delivered at the Richmond Heights Elementary School and Richmond Heights Secondary School. It's basically a form letter. Here we have the Euclid City Schools, very similar. This is taking place at Forest Park Middle School and Central Middle School. Up next, we have the Garfield Heights School District at Garfield Heights Middle School and Garfield Heights High School. Okay, so that covers all of the information we received from the attorney at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. Now, the next few pages are information that we found in our research on the internet, reports, that are out there. This is actually meeting minutes for their quarterly meeting for the Collaborative for Comprehensive School Age Health. It lists all of the participants and the notes from the meeting. They go into quite a bit of detail about what they're doing and their meeting. They refer to some Senate bill and House bill that they were reviewing. And then on this next page, they talk about the very top here, number 3 on their meeting notes, Planned Parenthood Advocacy and Education Report. So right here, they talk about the federal grant that they're using for Planned Parenthood to facilitate the Get Real curriculum for over 900 middle and high school students in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Okay, I want to stop and pause. Did you get that? Planned Parenthood is in the Cleveland Public Schools. In their meeting minutes here, they go into this detail about those 900 middle and high school students in Cleveland that are getting this comprehensive sex education. It says here in the second to last bullet, Planned Parenthood staff are organizing town hall conversations about reproductive health and sex education in Cleveland, Akron, and Columbus in September and October. And then, more details about it. Number 4, Beachbrook Education update about, they list those same schools that we heard from the attorney in Cuyahoga County Board of Health. Number 5 dash is more federal funding for health funding in Cleveland. The last point here, Riled Witchen's presentation, Gender Norms, an Overlooked Key to Improving Reproductive and Sexual Health. So they're teaching about gender norms. Okay, moving on to the next page. Okay, the Center for Community Solutions has a lot of work that they do around comprehensive sex education. And here is a report, how are Cuyahoga County schools teaching sex education? And then I just pulled out this couple paragraphs here where it's circled 24 schools or 31% of students are receiving comprehensive sex education in Cuyahoga County. And then this is a report. Here's a report from the Cuyahoga County Council meeting minutes of money for pre-K education should go to existing program. They had a county council meeting about proposed $10 million by the executive Armin Budish for pre-K. Should be overseen by the county department. And then it's being discussed by Michael Gallagher in these meeting notes. David Greenspan at that time on the county council, these funds going into the school systems. Here you see in that same county council meeting minutes, the Cuyahoga County Early Childhood Trust, universal pre-K started with 1,000 children 9 years ago, and 2,300 are currently in the program, with 75% receiving scholarships to cover costs. Talks about a $500,000 grant in 3 years, $1 million grant from the Gund Foundation. This is referring to the Invest in Children organization. Now here, where the arrow is, Family and Children First Council works with older children. And then Matt Carroll, interim director of the Department of Health and Human Services, said that funding would likely be restored. So you see, what we've seen so far is that funding has come in from federal grants, county funds, donations from foundations, and the county council is providing funds. Here, the Family and Children First Council, funds used for comprehensive sexuality education. And here are the schools listed in this report. It goes into quite a bit of detail here. Bedford City School District, and it gives you the number of students and the grades. Brooklyn Schools, Cleveland Heights, University Heights, East Cleveland, Euclid City, Richmond Heights, Shaker Heights, South Euclid, Lyndhurst City Schools, Warrensville Heights City Schools. And this is a report stating that the district agrees to work with Beach Brook to provide comprehensive sexual health education programming to the students in these districts. What's the point? The point is, we wanted to put together a report to show evidence that comprehensive sex education is in Ohio schools. And here you see it's in Cuyahoga County, Cleveland, and many, many school districts. This is not abstinence until marriage-based curriculum as defined in Ohio Revised Code 3313.6011. This is comprehensive sex education that is not on the books in our law in Ohio. Moving on to page 22. Okay, here is the Comprehensive Sexual Education Collaborative. The collaborative, and this is actually something that's on the internet. It's probably still there. They call it the gold standard. It's basically propaganda supporting the idea and advancement of comprehensive sex education. And they go into quite a bit of detail here about comprehensive school age health, they call it here. And then here is the cohort of trainers. These folks, you see here, Ashley, the first person, in collaboration of NARAL, National Association of Reproductive Rights, Pro-Choice Ohio, New Voices Cleveland, Ohio Religious Coalition for Reproductive Choice, and Preterm, the big abortion clinic. Okay, this is who they're using to deliver these services to children in the school for comprehensive sex education. We have a gentleman here, Cuyahoga County Board of Health, Columbus Public Health, Cleveland State University, Columbus Public Health, Silver Creek Strategies, LLC, and then the Collaborative for Comprehensive School Age Health. Next page, this is also on the internet. The collaborative. This is their accomplishments. They're listing that the George Gund Foundation currently serves as chair and provides public. They're actually funding this in the Center for Community Solutions. Their accomplishment that they highlight here is that the collaborative worked closely with senior Cuyahoga County elected and appointed officials and leadership of the Cuyahoga County Board of Health to promote and ensure a smooth transition away from any funding for abstinence only until marriage programming, which is the law in Ohio, but they're working away from that. we are always told by our local or our statewide elected officials that education is local, but we do have laws on the books that they're not following. How is that? Here we have another accomplishment, potentially catalytic opportunities to achieve this goal emerged through the interest and leadership of Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson and Cuyahoga County Commissioners in 2006. The collaborative work to coordinate these opportunities in a manner that resulted in a financial commitment by the county to underwrite expansion to universal availability of comprehensive sexuality education in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Okay, so our goal was to find evidence that it's there, and here it is in our report. Moving on to the next page. Okay, so the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. We requested information from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District on August 7th. You can see that in our appendix. They did not respond, even after multiple requests from our attorney at Liberty Counsel. Our request was denied. We did receive information from the City of Cleveland Health Department, and you can see this information in the in this report. So I guess I want to just stop here for a moment and say this. Again, we're told that parents can work with local school districts if they have concerns about curriculum or any issues. No, it's not readily available. It's almost impossible. In this case, it was impossible to work with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, even though they do have a public records request process. They didn't respond. They did not provide the information. In Ohio, in all of our work, often we don't get a response back, which is a problem when we're dealing with this type of information not being provided to parents and to people like us who are asking for the information. Okay, this is also information that we researched and found from the Ohio Legislative Services Commission, and it talks about the Cleveland Metropolitan School District in Cuyahoga County, that they offer a program called Responsible Sexual Behavior Curriculum Delivery. And it says that the Cleveland's program provides comprehensive health education regarding sexually transmitted diseases, teen pregnancy prevention, and related areas to all students in kindergarten through 12th grade. The program is a partnership between the school district, the city, the county board of health, and several charitable foundations. It talks about the $500,000 provided funds for staff, consultants, and program evaluation. Okay, so we did receive records from the city of Cleveland. The Cleveland Public Schools, you may be familiar, they are under the authority of the city of Cleveland because they are a ongoing, continuously failing school system, rated F year after year on the state report card. The city of Cleveland did send us 58 pages of records. It was incomplete, pages missing, but it does give us some insight. Our analysis is that the city of Cleveland, or excuse me, the Cleveland City Council hired, get this, Kent State University to contract with an unnamed third party, likely, in my mind, Planned Parenthood or their allies, to facilitate comprehensive sex education curriculum, which is listed here in our report. Again, they did not, these pages, these 58 pages were incomplete and not entirely forthcoming about this Kent State arrangement. Kent State working with a third party. It doesn't say who the third party is. Additionally, we have added some pages of separate reports that validate that comprehensive sex education curriculum is being used in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. There's too much information to include all the pages. We did not include everything that we found, but in the report, we do show evidence here that it's in the schools. There's a sticky note there that shows the pages that were omitted from the report. Okay, so looking at the 58 pages, in number 1 here, it says the city is authorized to accept a grant from the Cleveland City Council to conduct the 2014 to 2015 Community Development Block Grant Program. Next page, number 2, the evaluator is Kent State University. The external evaluators will work with the contractor to assess the contractor's prevention program, et cetera, et cetera. They do not name this contractor. They only state contractor. The contractor must send at least one representative to the monthly meeting of the Cuyahoga County HIV Prevention Regional Advisory Group to participate actively and to work on designated committees and work assignments of the advisory group. So we don't have the details about who they are or what they're doing. And here highlighted $20,000 was allocated by the Cleveland City Council. It goes into more details. And then here, this letter from the city of Cleveland, it talks about this this arrangement for responsible sexual behavior of kindergarten through 12th grade curriculum in the amount of $20,000. So do you see that? Planned Parenthood and their allies working with universities, Kent State in this case, Case Western Reserve University and others are facilitating comprehensive sex education that does not comply with Ohio Revised Code. Okay, here's another report. Talks about the funding, talks about the Cleveland Metropolitan School District kindergarten through 12th grade responsible sexual behavior program is the only comprehensive sexuality education program of its kind in the state of Ohio. Okay, continuing on. K, kindergarten through 12th grade responsible sexual behavior initiative demonstrates 8 years of integrating these practices into HIV/AIDS prevention programming. Goes into more information here. And then they talk about on this page the Youth Risk Behavior Survey, which is administered in even numbered years in middle schools and odd numbered years in high schools. Talks about the information they receive from this survey that's done in the schools. And here we see in highlighted in yellow, this year's program evaluation is being provided by Case Western Prevention Research Center for Healthy Neighborhoods. Components of the evaluation have included, and then they go into their survey. Case Western Reserve University. Okay, here we go. More information about the services. And then highlighted in yellow, here are the curriculums being used. All About Life, Flash, Making Proud Choices, it's 15 of the 15 harmful elements. All of these have the 15 harmful elements, and then Safer Choices. All of these are comprehensive sex education. And then here's the last report that we found in our research. And here they talk about the collaborative once again, and who is involved: Beach Brook, the Cleveland Foundation, the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, County Board of Health, George Gunn Foundation, Case Western Reserve University, and look at the last one here, working with Planned Parenthood of Northeast Ohio. In our schools in Ohio, Planned Parenthood, completely unacceptable. Again, here's the names of the curriculum. Devastating, devastating curriculum. 15 harmful elements are in this curriculum. Talks about the number of students. Okay, so that's where we end up for today, finishing off on Cuyahoga County schools, the health department, and the Cleveland Public Schools. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, by this time, we've covered the Ohio Department of Education, the State Board of Education, the Ohio Department of Health, Cuyahoga County Board of Health, and the City of Cleveland and the Cleveland Metropolitan School Districts. By this time, it's clear. It's clear. There's no doubt about it. Comprehensive sex education is already in Ohio schools, and we've got more to cover. In the next video, we're going to cover Cincinnati and Columbus, and it's undeniable. This is happening in Ohio, and that's the point of our report and of these videos. And so I hope you'll continue to watch and become more familiar with what's happening in Ohio schools. Thank you for your time.